So today we have a very, a topic which is very important in our lives. There are a lot of hindrances in our lives, and this life, as all you know, is a suffering sea. And a lot of times we get some obstacles in life. So we have, five hindrances, very common hindrances in our lives that we all face in our life that we need to master. So it's a self mastery hindrance we can do it. If we do it, I think our work is half done. And next stages, I think we have less problems in our lives and we can make our lives closer to the successful. Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thanks Benjamin brother also for sharing my PPT with all of you. Thank you, brother Benjamin. So I will request you to please change the slide, please. Thank you so much, Benjamin brother. Yeah, so I would like to start with a small story first. This story also reflect to all of us. So, there was a man living close to a mountain, and every day he was thinking how it would be to climb to that mountain and what he would see on the peak. So we are all very, very curious. How would it be look like on the peak of the mountain? So how could we climb the mountain? Next slide, please. So one day, he just made up his mind and he told himself that he want to climb the mountain. And finally, the day came and the men went on the journey. So arriving at the foot of the mountain, he met the first traveler. So he asked him, he was coming down from the mountain. So he asked him how he would manage to climb that mountain and what he would see from the top, how it looks like from the top of the mountain. So because he was very curious. Next slide, please, Benjamin brother. So the traveler shared his experience of the climbing the mountain and the view he got to see from the top. But everybody has his different views. When we start to climb the mountain, we have different criteria in our mind, what we want to see, what we like, what we dislike. So that traveler, he explained his view, and he got to see from the top. But then the man thought the way that this traveler described to me sounds very exhausting, because I think he described it. It is very difficult to climb this mountain. You need this, you need that, and you need to go from that way or that way. So I think it sounds very exhausting to him. So next slide, please, Benjamin brother. So he thought maybe he should, find another way to climb. So he continued to walk on the foot of the mountain until he met the next traveler. So once again, he asked the traveler the same question: how did you manage to climb the mountain, and what did you see from the top? Again, the traveler narrated his story to him, his view he narrated to him. Next slide, please, Benjamin brother. So, still not deciding which direction and which way to go, the man asked 30 more travelers. So, finally, when he finished talking to all of them, he made up his mind. So, what do you think? He made up his mind. So, I think he gave up. He's told himself that he don't need to climb the mountain because it's too exhausted for him. So many people already share their paths with him and what they saw from the top. So I think he thought that I don't need to climb the mountain anymore because I already know what is from the top, what view is from the top. So it is very unfortunate that the man never went on the journey. So it also happens in our lives so many times. We just ask what it would be, what it be like to do this or to do that. So we never do that thing in our lives. So I think when we do it, then only we come to know the experience, and we get the experience, and we can share that experience to our fellow members and so many friends. Next slide, please, Benjamin brother. So I think each individual needs to find the most suitable way to climb that mountain. There is information possible to be shared with the world, but it is impossible to share the experience of clarity when we are standing on that peak of by ourselves. So it is, the beauty is different, the experience is different when we are ourselves standing on that mountain. to invest the right effort to climb that peak is necessary. I think when we do the effort, we come to know the glory, the beauty of the journey. So we need to find out that way. We don't need to ask anybody what it would be like. So I think we just need to, ask them which way is the best way to go, and we can start our journey. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So all the spiritual trainings are also, about the clarity. It means we can see more clearly that this is in this training. I think we can go to the right path, the true path. So when we see more clearly, anything becomes more apparent. So we know what is right and what is wrong. So I think knowing what is right and what is wrong is more necessary in our lives, not to follow the, not to have the belief, blindly. So we distinguish ourselves which is proper direction to take and which decision to make in order to make our goals or aspirations start shaping. So that is the clarity of the mind. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So life is a long and tedious journey. We all know. So we are all on a path to master it. So we all need to master it. Even the rich people need to master it. So in the process, we will encounter various challenges along the way. We will face many obstacles, so we must prepare ourselves as well as we can. So I think we need to take some challenges in our lives in order to shape our lives and tell these experiences with share these experiences with our fellow members, our family members, our friends. So I think to make them their lives also better. So we better understand there is no shortcut in our lives. There is no shortcuts in lives, and that no one can take our place. So we are very important in this world. So don't underestimate, ourselves. So we are very important. That is why God has, given a birth to us in this world. So we are very important. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So all the challenges, actually come from our mind. So uh, like for example, there are some people go to the gym and they start gymming, but they think in their mind that they cannot lift the weight. So I think they will not be able to lift the weight. So I think you have to make your mind strong. Yeah, we can do it. So those the challenges are hindrances that all of us will encounter at some point along the way, and can stall our progress if not dealt with appropriately. So actually, we don't get the right situation, the right friends to tell us, and the right, I think, the right guru, the right master to tell us which is which is the right way, and what are the right steps we should take in our lives. So, to bring meaning and value to our life, we need to learn to master our mind. And to master our mind, there are certain things that we need to, deal with appropriately in our lives. So, to master our mind, there are five hindrances I'm talking about. So, next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So, first of the hindrances which we have is sensual desire. So, we have all have sensual desires in ourselves. So, we need to master it. So, sensual desire actually arises in the moment when we are paying attention to something that is giving us a positive emotion. We think that this is good for me. We should do it. So this positive emotion can originate from five windows of our body: seeing by your eyes, hearing from your ears, smelling from your nose, tasting from your tongue, and the feeling we get from our skin. So I think these five sensual desires we need to control. Otherwise, it can give us so much trouble in our lives. And the people who can control these five desires, sensual desires, I think they are half the way they are done in their lives. So next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So sensual desire adds to the pursuit of pleasure and immediate gratification. In this age of abundance, this is a Kali, and this in this age of abundance, which comes with some negative consequences also. So we can easily get lost in doing things just because we feel good. So the bad things, they are not actually bad. they attract us, which with so much, people are very curious to go inside, like movies, take out food, shopping, late night, and so many things, discos, drinking, so many things. We see in our societies, so many people are falling in this kind of traps. So this is due to the Kali. We have this kind of things in our lives. So keeping our vices, I think, in check will keep ourselves very much focused that what we are here for, why we have taken a birth as a human being. We are very close to the God, so we should do things according to the teachings. So that is the things which the Buddha has already told us, that the next master is nobody except uh, the books. You have to see the teachings. So this is not to say that we should deprive ourselves of life's pleasure. So no, we have to take the pleasure of the life, but just understand when it's appropriate to do so and what things to do. And when it's time to continue on our way up to the mountain, then we have to do that thing. I think we have to stay focused on in our lives. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So second one is ill will. Sometimes, so many times, we have this kind of problems in our life. We often try to avoid certain experiences we are having, such as a bad mood. Today I'm not in a mood. We have a negative thought. Said today I will not be able to do this, or even external danger we feel in our lives. So in order to move forward and stick to our values, sometimes we still have to do things we don't like doing. It is what it is. So we have to face it, accept it, and we have to deal with it. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So, for example, we are climbing the mountain and it starts to rain, but we don't like rain. So you discover the roads are bumpy, but you don't like the bumpy roads. So in order to cross the river, you need to swim, but you don't like swimming. So whatever it is you dislike, it won't make it a pleasant journey. So some things will come in our lives that we don't like, but actually we have to deal with it. And when we deal with it, we become successful in that journey. So what should you do, to give up or to continue? It depends on our mind, on our state of mind. So the people who continue to keep on the journey are the successful people in lives. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So third one is sloth and torpor. So sloth means the heaviness of the body. We have so many times we are not feeling good in our lives, and the torpor means the dullness of the mind. We have the sleepiness, non-motivation. Today I'm not motivated. I'm feeling down. I have lack of energy. I don't have enough energy in my body. I don't have enough stamina in our body, and sometimes we also feel depressed. That I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. So many times this happens, these things happen in the lockdown also. After the lockdown also, people have this kind of things in their lives. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So sloth and torpor is an imprisonment of the mind. We don't, it doesn't let you get out of that, imprisonment. So we must break free of its, shackles. We can start with the little things. We get to learn how to get out of that, imprisonment. But just be 1% better each day. Don't go immediately too much forward. So just be 1% better each day. Whatever that means to us, eventually it will add up to something great through cumulative growth. So eventually we will do better things in our life. So when we feel burnt out, like we are very tired, so learn to rest, but never quit. Start again when you get up from your sleep. So the fourth is the restlessness. So it is a state of an unsettled mind. So most of the time we feel, oh, I am very tired. I don't, like to do these things. So unsettled mind means the mind cannot settle. Settle where? Settle in the present moment. Sometimes we think of the, past. People cannot come out of their past. They always, engrossed themselves in the past only. Or some people, they do things and they see the future. They want to see the future only. Oh, it will happen like this. I will have this. I will do this. But we are not doing. We are only thinking. So I think doing is the best thing. So don't think about the only think, only do and be in the present moment. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So we can describe this unsettled mind as the monkey mind. To quiet down the inner monkey, give it something to focus on. So we should do some things so that we should not think about, other things. So the more we try to resist, the more agitated our mind will become. So don't resist, just do things so that you don't have time to think about, about the past or the future. Just be in the present. So as a philosopher Alan Watts puts it, the muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. If we leave the muddy water alone, it will be cleared. The mud will settle down one day. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So fifth is the skeptical doubts. So many times we have doubts in our mind. It is very closely related to a state of mind which is based on indecisiveness. It is very easy in that state of mind getting lost in thoughts. We are just lost in our thoughts, and people just ask, "Oh, where are you?" So, can I do this? Is this the right path? What will the other say? What if this? What if that? The mind cannot synchronize with our actions anymore. So we are always thinking, we don't actually do the things. So I think we are in doubts. So we must clear the doubts. So how the doubts can be cleared, we should know. I think the faith is the best thing. The faith. At some point, we must trust our intuition that what we are in the right path. What we are doing is right. With this trusting of oneself, we will gain a sense of self confidence, and we are able to connect with the goals we set for ourselves. I think we should have faith in ourselves. I think if we don't trust ourselves, I think we cannot trust anybody in our lives. So trust yourself, have faith in God. He's always there with you. Next slide, please, Benjamin, brother. So, what is the conclusion? So, gods and Buddhas, as well as our Tao seniors, help us to prevent these hindrances from arising in our mind. So, best way is to be connected to the temple. So, the temple is a place where we are following the truth, we are following the Tao. So, everybody will, make you focused in your life. Whatever if we are going on the wrong way, they will tell us, no, 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 I think you're not doing right thing. I think you should do this. I think I will let you help in this way. So many times, master also, help me that you should do this, you should do that, and make me, bring me on the right track. So by the grace of heaven, our wisdom, is inspired to remove all hindrances once in our lives. So what hinders your Tao cultivation now? I think we should think about that. Are we following the Tao truly? Are we following the truth? So we should research. Our master always say you should research. Whatever you listen, you should research. And after that, I think we can have the clarity of the mind. So that was my sharing for today. I hope we can continue our journey to the mountain and see what it looks like from the top. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the chance. And if I have done any mistake, I would like to give our masters and our seniors give me suggestions and give me feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shailesh brother. Okay, thank you, Shailesh brother, for your wonderful sharing. Yes, indeed, Tao cultivation is our path to master ourselves. Self-mastery, it can be likened to climbing a mountain, but these mountains are not made of rock or rice. It is our mind. Because no one can take our place to live our life, we must find our own unique way of climbing our mountains. By stepping onto the peak of the mountains, we will gain all the clarity we need. We will see everything very clearly, including this and that about the world in our life. In the process of pursuing self-mastery, Shailesh brother mentioned about 5 hindrances, which are sensual desire, ill will, sloth, torpor, laziness, procrastination, and number 4, restlessness, and number 5, skeptical doubt. Don't you think they are just like the eight pains and sufferings of our life, 人生八苦, right? To bring meaning and value to our life, We need to learn to master our mind and not let anything hinder our journey. So, what should we do? As you often hear in the temple, whatever comes in our life, face it, accept it, deal with it, and then let it go. As in the conclusion, we are very lucky to be able to learn in our temple, which where gods and Buddhas, as well as our Tao seniors, are helping us prevent and, if necessary, handle all the hindrances from arising in our lives. By the grace of gods and Buddhas, our wisdom will be inspired to remove all these hindrances. So, what hinders you from your Tao cultivation now? Different people may have different hindrances at different stages of life. We may think of we may think about it and ask ourselves how we can conquer it. Maybe we can pray to gods and Buddhas, can consult our Tao seniors. I'm sure they will give us very good inspirations or maybe some wise advice for us to move on in our life journey. Help me say thank you to Shailesh brother for the wonderful sharing. Now I'd like to pass the mic to Shubham brother for the reflection session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shalaushra, for this wonderful conclusion. You really have